So, here we are. Week 1 Power Rankings from the APA Wi-Fi Season 2 with your host for today, EliteFourTom. Today, we're going to go through who finished bottom and who finished top. And we're going to work through what they've done in their matches, who they brought, what their records are and stuff like that. So, to start with, I'm going to go through each division and each team and say their records and their differential, and from weeks on from this it'll be formed, so it makes sense further on the week. So as we get started, we start off with the Melee Island. We've got the Buffalo Buzzwolves, Corey, whose current record is 1-0 and a differential of 1-0. We've got the Winnipeg Blue Blastoise, who is Kurt. He is currently at 0-1 with a 0-3 differential. We've got the this week, I think it's the Lycan Rocks, who was... Hold on. We have a quick look. Where are they? There we go. Flame Horizon with the Lycan Rocks, who's now Polar Shelf has now taken over from. But they're at 0-1 with a 0-1 differential. We've got the Boston Beedrills, who is coached by Mighticus, whose record is 0-1, and their differential is 0-5. Next division is the Cooler Island. We've got the Chelsea Cloisters with Dan as their coach. Their record is 1-0. The differential is 6-0. Next we've got Carolina Clefables with Panther with a record of 1-0 and differential of 5-0. We've got the Montreal Exploits with Nitor, whose record is currently 0-1 and their differential is 0-3. Next we've got Hugo and the Montreal Monfernos with a 1-0 record and a 3-0 differential. That's that for that island. Next island is the Ula Island. We've got the Charlotte Chirazards with Tar Heel with a 1-0 win to loss and a 3-0 differential. We've got the Seattle Sharigan Superiors with Lindemar with a 0-1 win to loss and a 0-3 differential. We've got the New York Cosmos with Phantom Bass with a 0-1 and a 0-5 differential. We've got the Sleeping Snorlaxes Laminus Black with 0-1 and a -6 differential. Last division we've got is the Pony division, and we've got the Dunfermline, Big Up Jock with a 1-0 and a 5-0 differential. We've got the Nijmegen Nuzleafs, who's coached by Automatic or Matic, whatever it may be, with a 1-0 win to loss and a 1-0 differential, or 1 differential. +1. Colorado Rapidash with Moonlight Swami with a 0-1 wins to loss and a 0-1 differential. We've got the Adelaide Umbreons with Cressel K, a 1-0 win to loss and a 3-0 differential. Right, so now we've got through that, let's get straight in to the 6th last place in this week's Power Rankings. We've got Kurt, because Kurt unfortunately didn't play this week. So he sits at a 0-1 with a -3 this week. Not sure, like I say, no one's played this season, so I can't really go on form who would win against him, and he played Cressel K. So moving on from that, we've got 15th place, who's going to be Cressel K. I know they've won, it's technically a win, it's not meant to be 3-0, I did not see that. That's meant to be 1-0 +3 due to the forfeit. So like I say, I've not seen any of these teams play thus far, so I don't know really who would won, who would have won based on that. So we're going to move on to the people that have played, and the bottom of the people that have played is in fact the Sleeping Snorlaxes with Laminus Black with a 0-1 and a -6 differential. So a bit about the game. He started with Victini, Fortress, Metagross, Venomoth, Mamoswine and Snorlax, and he played Dan this week. He started off really well with the hazards. He got some Toxic Spites and Stealth Rocks up. However, he did stay in too long with Fortress, which allowed Dan's Garchomp to sit up on him. He did make some really strange switches throughout the match, and which helped Dan out a lot in the long run. He did not prep very well for Garchomp at all. He could have brung his Tapu Bulu to definitely counter the Garchomp with grassy terrain and all, so it would have rendered him pretty much useless. Or you know, Dan was in control the whole match. There was no momentum going at all towards Lax's team and Lax himself, so he couldn't fight at all. In future games, I think he's got to bring mons that will. He's got to look at a team. I think bringing mons that will counteract his opponent's offensive threats. So that's enough for 14th. In 13th, We have got the New York Cosmos with a Phantom base. To tell you the truth, there wasn't really a lot to say about Phantom in this game because Panther played so well that there was no room for Phantom to do anything in it at all. So we got a little bit. Oh dear, I didn't write down what he brung. But I believe he brung Aerodactyl, Comfy, Mew, Empoleon, Infernape, and oh god, I can't remember. I can't remember his fifth one, but anyway, he did allow Gardevoir to set up him straight away. So as soon as Panther got him in, he couldn't really do a lot. He couldn't really do a lot after it. He brought it in. He put it behind a sub, which made it really hard for to actually hurt the thing, even with a Toxic or anything, because it had a sub in front of it. Phantom base did actually lose a lot of mons to this sub Gardevoir, eventually bringing in the Aerodactyl to take out the sub. Literally, like I say, we didn't really see much of the Phantom base this game, so hopefully next time we'll be able to see what he can do. Moving on to 12th place, we have got the Boston Beedrills with Miticus at 0-1 with a -5 differential. A bit about Miticus' game. He did play Jock this week with Mega Charizard Y, Umbreon, Tapu Fini, Bronzong, Hydreigon, I think that's how you say it, and Excadrill. Miticus did start very well on the offence. He had a great use of a berry on the Umbreon to deny Gallade on Jock's team a really hard hit. He did prioritise one of Jock's mistakes, which was a bulk up to kill with a foul play, which is very well played by Miticus, got Gallade out quite early. He was all over Jock the first few turns, but he did make a misplay when he used a Dragon Pulse that would kill the Silvally, but he didn't realise it was bulky, so it lived and ended up costing Miticus in the long run. The tide was in Jock's favour the whole match, but he did bring up a Reflect to make Jock shake in his boots, for say. It didn't really, but it made him slow down his momentum because he had to break it. After Reflect went down, he did succumb to Jock's Swords Dance Weavile, and he couldn't do much to stop it, to be honest. Maybe another Reflect would have changed the game. Maybe, you know, stop Jock a little bit more. But he just absolutely wrecked through his team. He did fight very well, but he just couldn't get more than one kill. So -5 is a bit of overkill for his difference, but Jock did wear him down over time. Moving on to number 11. We have got the Montreal Explouds. Where are they? So they're currently sitting at a 0-1 with a -3. There he is. He brung Zygarde 50%, Roserade, Jellicent, Alolan Persian, Electrode, Magmortar, and he played Tar Heel this week. He was started off with his team not having any sort of hazard removal, so that allowed Tar Heel just to stack and stack and stack. So he stuck with Stealth Rocks from turn 1, and he could do nothing to get rid of it. He had really good prep with the HP Ice to kill a Gliscor, but Tar Heel predicted it and scouted for it, so just in case. One of his better plays in the game was, in fact, the Assault Vest on Roserade, which Tar Heel did not take note for, and that cost the opposing mon on Tar Heel's side to lose his life, per se. But that's the only thing Tar Heel was kind of on top of Nighthawk the whole game, so he didn't really have room to show us else what he had. Like I say, his only hazard removal on his whole team comes in the form of Staraptor, which without Reckless, so he's going to have a problem all season with hazards. In 10th place, I need a bloody drink. There we go. In 10th place, we have got the Seattle Superiors Lindamar with 0-1 and a -3 differential. Sorry, I'm carried away with a song. So he brung Landorus T, Calabian, it's Calabian, I think it's Calabian, Rotom Heat, Necrozma, Alolan Ninetales, and Tentacruel. Hugo again was on top of this game. He did do very well. Lindamar tried to put up a fight, but lost 3-0 in the end. He starts off with getting a Parastatic from Electrode. That's the wrong one. There you go. Sorry, he couldn't get momentum going at the start. He managed to get an Aurora Veil up, which Hugo needed to stall out. Hugo had to sacrifice 2 mons to this Aurora Veil that he did get up, so that was good choice from him to get up the Aurora Veil. He made a good play bringing Tentacruel to be sacked. It was on low health, and Muck had Brick Break, so he read the Brick Break, brought in the Tentacle, let it die, so Muck couldn't get the Brick Break off. Therefore, bringing in, I believe, Landrush T that could then Earthquake and kill the Muck. So it didn't let him get rid of the Aura Veil. He did make some really good switches during the match, so like I say, like the Tentacruel, the Thunderous, just not letting Hugo break him down with just one Mon. But in the end, he couldn't himself break down Hugo. So that's all I've got to say about that game. Next, we've got number 9. We've got the Minnesota Lycanrocs Flame Horizon, who is actually no longer in the league, but he's currently a 0-1 with a -1 differential. He played this week, if I can find him. He played Jesus Christ. Oh, he played Auto. He played Auto this week. Sorry, it took a while to find it. So he played Auto this week, and he started with Pelipper, Heliolisk, Superior, Armaldo, Mimikyu, and Mega Swampert. Honestly, I watched this game just a little while ago, and this game was one of the toughest ones to watch. It was long and stressful. I can tell from both parties. But he done really well at the beginning. He managed to get his Superior up to a +4 special attack. But Auto mistakenly Icy wins it as well, makes it even faster. He used it twice, so a +4 special attack and +2 speed. He did get rid of Auto's offensive threats really early on in the match with the Superior, but found it really hard to break through the walls left on Auto's team. To win the game, I think in the end he had to do some more bold plays. Instead of taking what's in front of him, he had to predict the switches and switch himself or use a different move. But he didn't bring Woodhammer or Mimikyu, so the Vaporeon sort of had him cornered there as well. He did get extremely unlucky with 2 burns, which actually cost him, could have cost him the match. But from the Scald from the Vaporeon, so what he could have done to avoid that, he could have switched into the Heliolisk. It's more than safe. So I don't know why he didn't really. He comes down to the last 3 Pokemon for each team. Auto has counters for all 3 that are left, so he was kind of sort of stuck at the bottom of the hill while Auto was sort of in the control. In the end, stalling paid off for the opposition because he just couldn't get rid of the Blissey because he only had special attackers left, and didn't have enough time to Toxic it with the Pelipper. I think if it weren't for the misses and the burns, I think Flame probably could have won, probably more than likely, with the Mimikyu and the Armaldo not getting burns. That would have been a lot better for Flame. In 8th place, we've got the Colorado Rapidash Moonlight Swami with a 0-1 and -1 differential. Little bit about the game. He brought Conkeldurr, Darmanitan, Dusknoir, Goodra, Tapu Koko, and Mega Gyarados versus Corey. He played Corey this week. Honestly, this was also a really good game. And some of these people on this list who lost didn't really deserve to lose or didn't deserve the scoreline. This is one of those people, I feel. Sorry, Corey, to say it, but that's what I think anyway. He made really good starting predictions with the knockoff switching to Spiritomb. That was really good. He does get lucky with a D-Green crit on Tangrowth, which really didn't help out Hori. But he was still making really good plays in the first few turns with some great predictions. It was good. It was in the driver's seat. The tide was in his favour with a Curse Electric Seed Goodra, which raised his defence and attack. You know, guys. But Corey did counteract that with a Psych Up Spiritomb. He rested, so Corey brung in a Psych Up Spiritomb to copy his stat changes, so it wouldn't do a lot to him. He does get unlucky with 2 Flash Cannon stat drops on the Goodra. Corey does, so that really hurt. That really hurt Swami. He makes a good move, hiding the Ice Punch on the Conkeldurr, but unfortunately Corey outplayed this with a switch into Merilata that he saved earlier on from switching in from the Tangrowth. He thinks he's got this match done. Honestly, like if I was him, it'd be done. The match would be done. I wouldn't even consider it what Corey done, but he thinks it's done with a D-Dance Mega Gyarados, but Corey managed to live on full health from a waterfall. And then you get Mega Lopunny does actually get the kill. Swami played really well. The Curse Goodra was really tough to beat, but he really did get unlucky with them Spadef drops. I don't if it wasn't for that, then he probably would have won. But who knows? Team prep was really good, but it didn't pay off this time around. I do look forward to seeing what he's got to bring next week. In 7th place, we have got the Buffalo Boswells and Corey. Like I say, this was a really, really close game. And they should be together because they literally played on par with each other. Corey may got a bit lucky, but still, it was a really close game. Corey brung Megalupani, Meloetta, Spiritomb, Tangrowth, Zapdos, and Heatran versus Swami. He played really safe in the beginning, trying to scout to see what everyone's got. He didn't do any sort of crazy moves. He was just playing safe, getting a grasp of what's kind of style he's going for. Early game momentum, he loses momentum and does become in trouble with that. After Coco switched out, he's become in trouble with an Electric Seed Goodra. He had some great prep with the Psychot Spiritomb, as you just heard, which copies the stat changes that Goodra made from the Curse and the Electric Seed. But Dragon Tail does make him keep switching out, which was good prep on Swami's part. He gets really unlucky. He gets really lucky, like I said in the last game, with 2 Spadef drops from 2 out of Heatran's flash cannons from the switch out from the Dragon Tail. He, like I say, he avoids a deadly Ice Punch from a Flame Orb Conkeldurr using a switch in from the near dead Meloetta he saved earlier. And it was sort of back and forth all the way through the game until the end, when, like I said in Sammy's one, Corey's HP investment actually saves the day. And managing to live from a +1 waterfall from a Mega Gyarados. Corey had an uphill battle to win after the Goodra took out 2 of his defensive Pokemon, but he kept it cool and made some really good plays in that game. Like I say, he did get really lucky with the Spadef drops, but if that didn't happen, that probably would have lost him the game. Also on a side note, Mega Lopunny did actually get 3 kills that game, so that's one for the top of the leaderboards. In 6th place, we've got the Nijmegen Nuzleafs with automatic with a +1 and 1 differential. Bit about their game. This was the really stally game, but to be fair to him, how much stall it is doesn't matter. He still is part of the prep and it played well, so that's why he's finished above Corey this time. He brought a really bulky team against Flame. Really bulky, unbelievably bulky. But he makes a stupid mistake in my eyes and he sucks off his Jirachi to a boosted Superior when Blissey probably could have handled it just as well with a Seismic Toxin, Toxic, whatever. But Jirachi didn't really need to go down. He lets his offensive mons die really early in the game. He does make good use of the healing moves such as Heal Bell, Wish and Softball to keep all his bulky mons healthy throughout the whole whole stage of the game. All through stages of the game. He made some very safe switches, just continuously switching out, trying to make Flame attack him as much as possible. He did, but he gets really lucky with the 2 burns against him, which means that they couldn't be touched really. It became close towards the end, but auto resets his Toxic timer, sacking Mandibuzz, which worked because in the end none of them will be able to touch Blissey because they were both special attackers. He was left with Pelipper and Heliolisk. If it wasn't for the burns, I think Auto probably would have lost. It would have been maybe the other way around, just switching positions. Blissey in that game actually got 4 kills. Unbelievably, I don't think I've ever seen a Blissey get 4 kills. But that shows how stally this team was. Moving on to number 5, nearly at the top 4. Sorry, I'm speaking. This is my first one. I'm bloody nervous, alright? I'm not nervous. I just can't bloody read properly. Next time I'll make it simpler for me. Right, so we've got 5th place. We've got Hugo with the Montreal Monfernos with a 1-0 differential and a +3. 1-0 record and +3 differential. Jesus Christ, I'm losing it. I'm losing it here, lads. I'm losing it. We have got Deoxys, Dugtrio, Dragonite, Sylveon, Alolan Muck, and Pyroar, and he played Lindamar this week. He played really well. I did enjoy this game. This game was quite nice to watch. He started off with a lot of momentum going in his favour, predicting moves and switching accordingly. So he was just on top. He could see one step ahead. He got loads of Hadders up to force Tentacle in. Not loads. He got Stealth Rocks up to force Tentacle in at some point, so he played that as well. He played the whole game very well with stalls, Toxic and Wish Protect. He had a little problem when Lindemar got Aura Veil up, which forced Hugo either to try and brick break it with the Muck or stall it out. He does actually get played by Lindemar, like I told you earlier, where he switches into his Tentacruel and he ends up not being able to break it because Tentacruel died. So that was good prep as well for the brick break because he did expect the Aura Veil to come. He done really well to keep all his Mons healthy throughout the match, which was good to watch. He did bring really good counters as well to his opponent's offensive threats as well. So that's that for Hugo. He finished 5th in the last 4 now. Is where it gets interesting. We have got 4th place, Tarhill. Tarhill's in 4th with, he played Nightor this week and he had Drudgeon, Thunderous T, Gliscor, Mega Caesar, Greninja and Gengar. Very good team, very offensive team. He gets really unlucky from the start with the Parastatic from Electrode on his Mega Caesar. I know he's not that quick, but it didn't help him that much. He had a great use of U-turn to deal. Good use of a U-turn to deal with the Alolan Persian, because it was parting shot it, and then he'd switch out, so no, the parting shot no longer mattered. He had a lot of coverage on Gengar to hit pretty much everything, even with the HPIs to hit that. Hit the just looking now. Sorry, hit the Landorus T. Switch. He had momentum going his way for the majority of the game. He was, like I say, he was always one step ahead, always on top. He could see what he's doing before he even knew, which is great. He had great use of hazards from Tarhill, knowing that Nightor didn't bring anything to get rid of him. Yeah. Like I say, he didn't bring anything. The only thing he has is Staraptor with Defog, so the more hazards, the better, I suppose. He did bring a very offensive team, which caused problems for Nightor. And in the end, he was just on top. He was just power playing. So that was a very good game from Tarhill. Gengar actually got 3 kills that game as well. So there was a lot of Mons that got a few kills. Moving on to the top 3. We have got, in 3rd place, Jock with the Dunfermline with 1-0 record and a +5 differential. Where are you, Jock? Jockey Jock, you're down here. Found you. He started the game with Mega Gallade, Weavile, Gardevoir, Savali, Skarmory, Kabutops, and he played Marticus this week. He started off scouting really well for moves, quite well, and started an investment for the opposition's Pokemon. Marticus was piling on the pressure right at the beginning and makes a major miscalc and sacks his Charizard. A lot of switching from in and out from both sides, so they were both trying to read each other, but end up sort of counteracting and sort of just keep switching in and out all the time. Jock did get a crit on the Bronzong, which didn't impact the result, but may he would be low down on the list for the differential. He plays the field really well to get everything within a +2 Weavile, so he managed to get all his Mons, all the Marticus's Mons in range of a +2 Weavile. Parting shot is well played from Jock, enabling him to bring in Weavile and survive a flamethrower from Hydrogen. I don't know how that's to say it. So Weavile puts in a lot of work for Jock, killing 2 of its counters, including as well as Marticus's team. It was a close game overall, but once everything got in range of the Weavile, he just couldn't do anything. The Reflect got a problem for Jock, but he manages to go straight for it. Reason why Jock's below who's next is because Jock was actually really made to work for it, whereas Panther just absolutely obliterated for it. Weaver actually got 4 kills in that match, so like I say, played really well. Moving on to the top 2, left. We've got 2 left. The Carolina Cafables with Panther 2. Well done, Panther, for finishing 2nd. You've got a 1-0 differential record and a +5 differential. Bit about the game. His team was Crocodile, Suicune, Metagardevoir, Magnezone, Kieran Black and Crobat, and he played Phantom Bass this week. It was a really short battle. It was, I think, what, 14 turns, maybe 15, if that. But it was really short, and Panther was just dominant all the way through it. It was good to watch. It was good to see. It was just like clockwork, as they say. It was just constantly going, always momentum in his favour. It was a really, like I say, short battle. He didn't get a 6-0 because he wanted to be safe. He didn't want to Infernape to sweep him, so he just let his Kieran Black faint to it. Mega Guard of War was a hard Pokemon for Phantom Bass to deal with. Phantom Bass to deal with. He had to prep the Tyler's Infernape the most. He predicts a lead. He predicts a lead very well. Magnezone versus Empoleon. So since that point, the momentum was just carried on going. It was great. He got Mega Guard behind a sub, and he didn't. Like I say, I've lost where I was. He doesn't fall for the taunts. Oh, he doesn't fall for the taunts. So he's not. He wasn't trying to set up. He was just going for kills. So he kills Empoleon and Comfy. Aerodactyl does break the sub, but Guard has enough investment to live a hit and then takes out Aerodactyl for the 3rd kill. So he gets 3 kills that game. He was smart switching. He was switching really well to save the Guard. Instead of just carrying on with it, he switched in for the Crobat, and that managed to live and then kill the Scolipede. Like, it was just death after death. After turn 10, that was it. It was like 7 turns till everyone had died, so it was just carried on killing. Sweet style points with the Z move, Panther. Very well, very nice, very well done. In the short time, of the battle, Panther was focused and made very, very good decisions. Overall, he had momentum on his side the whole game. Reasons for position. Well, let's say he finished above Jock because he played the game brilliantly, and the differential reflected it. Mega Guard got 3 kills that game, so it's a tough cookie, that Mega Guard, I tell you. But yeah, he played really well that game. He played really well. First place, it's my boy. No bias here. Dan's in first place. You can tell why. He won 6-0 without a problem. 1-0 plus 6. This match, he had a great matchup for Garchomp. He does let Lax get his hands up, and it's so Garchomp can literally Swords Dance and sweep everything. Yeah, I don't think he brought anything that could not get hit by Earthquake, if I remember rightly. Let's find him. No, everything could get hit by Earthquake. Most of it was actually super effective against it, so I don't see why not. Where is he? He does get 2 kills. He gets 2 kills straight away with Garchomp, like within the first couple of turns. He doesn't get greedy and made some smart switches after to get rid of the Swords Dance, and that actually helped him win the match in the end. It was a really good prep on Dan's part for the whole of his team. He got it a bit easy without the hard hitters because, like I say, Lax didn't bring Bulu or Mega Hair across. Dan had momentum the whole game, not allowing Lax to get a 1-up on him at all. He played well, and all match he made little to none errors. He made literally none. He was just straight away, just focused in the zone. Got them kills. He got a bit lucky with the moves Lax chose, which led him to 6-0. So he was trying to hit him with moves that was doing nothing. And in the end, Scrafty got 3 kills as well. So that brings us to the end of the match summary and our winners and this power rankings. Sorry if I was a bit stuttery. This is my first one, so don't go too hard on me. But thank you very much for everyone who's here today and come to watch. I appreciate it a lot. I'm thinking about doing a Mon of the Week. So if I do give a Mon of the Week, I'm going to give it to Weavile. Weavile was just sweep. Jock, well done, you got Mon of the Week. Hey! And that for them 4 kills are just straight power, straight prowess, just dominated. So don't see why not. Umbreon, yeah, but Umbreon with the berry. That was a good play, but I'm not afraid. Afraid not, Micus. I'm afraid not. I'm back on the Twitch chat now, as you can see. Thank you very much for watching. I've been EliteFourTom. If you want to check out, if you're here, and you're not from the APA Wi-Fi, and you want to check out one of the season, the Twitter, the YouTube, if you just type in Eskimo, I'll type it in the chat for you. How about that? How about that? YouTube. And there you go. So there's the Twitters and the YouTube for the APA. If you want to keep up with everything they're doing, just go over there. It's a lovely job. Lovely. It's a nice bunch of people. Great league. Apart from Tar Heel, he has too much salt. But thank you very much for watching. I've been EliteFourTom. I'll see you next Friday.